So you want to start your courier business in 2026, but you have no money, no credit, no vehicle, and no time to actually perform the deliveries, yet you still want to make money. That's not impossible. In this video, I'll share with you how it's actually possible for you to make money in 2026, even though you have these 4 issues. Number 1, no money. No money, no problem. The reason why starting your courier business in 2026 doesn't require you to have money up front is because the contracts are the money. And a lot of people don't know this, but you want to first seek a contract so you can secure a specific amount of money for your company per mile, per day, per route, however the contract outlines it, in order for you to start actually spending money later. So many people are doing it backwards, right? They're spending money before they're making money. However, you need no money. You need the contracts because the contracts are the money. And once you have the contracts in place, then we'll decide and determine how that money gets spent in a method that actually grows and builds your business to where you can have financial freedom. The number 2 factor, no credit. No credit, no problem. The credit isn't a factor when you begin your courier business. You don't want to use credit initially in the beginning anyways, because most people only use it to get loan, which is they're starting out with debt, or to finance a vehicle. They're also starting out with debt. And they jump the gun, and they usually do this before they get the contracts. And I don't want you to do that because I want you to be really successful in 2026, and I want you to have a competitive edge. So what you'll do is you'll start out without using other people's money to start a loan because we have the contracts, right? And the contracts is the money. And you won't go finance a vehicle. The next factor is no vehicle, and I'm going to explain how you can obtain a vehicle without dishing out your money or ruining your credit just to get started. Now, later in your business, your credit will become a booster in your business to help you grow and scale your business if you do it right. So you would want to consider fixing and repairing your personal credit so that can help you to get credit lines and loans to actually build your business credit when you are ready for that. But as we are starting, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the beginning. Later on down the line, it will matter. So I don't want you to think that you can run this entire business and just don't worry about credit ever. No, because later on, we want to repair, we want to fix, we want to have great credit, and we want to use that credit as leverage to grow, to scale, and to expand our courier business. Number 3, no vehicle. No vehicle, no problem. You don't need a vehicle to start your courier business. You have the main thing you need, right? That's the contract. Once you have the contract, you know you have guaranteed money on the line, and now you're going to use that contract as your money, as your leverage to obtain the vehicle to complete the delivery. So there's 2 ways that you can really do this with absolutely no money. The first way is to reach out to a family member or a friend that has the type of vehicle required to complete the delivery. I've personally done this. I've reached out to a cousin who had an SUV, and I paid her agreed upon rate to use her vehicle to complete the delivery. That rate was about 10% of what I was making. So let's say I was going to make $1,000. I paid her $100 just to borrow her vehicle, plus refilled the tank. That is a way that you can do it without money up front later, after you're paid the money, then you will pay your friend, family member, relative the money that you guys agreed upon. The second way is to hire a driver who already has the vehicle required. So let's say the job that you have on the contract that you've obtained requires a cargo van or a box truck, and you don't have the vehicle. You're going to hire a driver who has a cargo van or a box truck and the credentials necessary to complete the job. You're going to look for these drivers on places like Indeed or Monster, Craigslist, or CBD driver. And you'll find your drivers there by posting a job ad that already up front tells them that this vehicle is required for the job. You must bring your own vehicle and you're responsible for your maintenance, gas, or whatever. And you pay them a fair rate to perform the task. Now, in this industry, most companies pay a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split. You may even see a 50-50 split. That's one of my favorite splits. I usually did a 50-50 split with my drivers. Sometimes I would do a 40-60 split. But let's say the load was $1,000 delivery. And I would hire a driver who already has the vehicle, insurance requirements, credentials to perform the job. And then I would pay them half of what I would make on my contract or my agreement that I have with my client. So in the past, I have personally paid drivers $500 to perform a job, and I've pocketed the other $500 just from having the contract. And I was able to make money with no vehicle. The fourth factor, no time. If you don't have time to go out, pick up the delivery, drop it off, do all the driving, that is no problem. You don't have to have the time to actually perform the deliveries to have a courier business in 2026. All you have to do is find somebody who has the time and who's willing to perform the task. So let's say you have some of the other things, but you don't have the time. That's fine. I have used my own cargo van, which I'm sitting in now, and had a driver to go do the deliveries for me. I have also hired drivers who have their own vehicles, cargo vans, cars, SUVs, and box trucks, to go do the delivery for me because I had the contract in place. Remember, the most important thing in the courier industry is the contracts that you have in your portfolio. So you can have as many contracts as possible, and you don't have to show up to do any of the work using any of your time, as long as you are willing to hire and find people who are qualified and can perform the task at the highest level with their own time. There's people willing to work. There's more people willing to work than they are willing to go out and find these contracts and get these contracts under their belts. So I've personally done this. It is actually my favorite way, because when you are building a business, it's better to work on the business instead of in the business, so that you can give more people more opportunities. So if you're out here looking for contracts and landing contracts, you're then able to give other people opportunities to come work for you, to drive for you, and to feed their families. So no time, no problem. So we have went over 4 ways that don't matter and are not actual barriers for you starting your courier business in 2026. Doesn't matter if you have no money or $0 in your bank account. Does not matter if you don't have credit when getting started. It doesn't matter if you don't have a vehicle, nor does it matter if you don't have the time to actually perform the deliveries. You are still able to make money in this industry with those issues being true for you. I've done it. I'm not just telling you what I heard or what's theory. I'm telling you what I've done, and I have ran a successful courier business for 7 years, and I've used all the things that I mentioned to you. If you found this video helpful, if you found this video valuable, stick around. I'm just getting started, and I'll be giving you all the tips, tricks, lessons, and things you can use to grow your courier business in 2026. Like, comment below what you found valuable or anything else you'd like for me to elaborate on, and subscribe so you don't miss the next valuable video. Peace, and see you in the next video.